Hi everyone, it's Carol from Crinkled Path Journals, and I'm back with another memory keeping episode in my 1980s altered cookbook junk journal. And under all of this is that journal, and we'll get to that in just a second. But I wanted to take a minute to say thank you to all of my new subscribers, helping me to get to the 600 mark, hopefully soon. And for those of you who have shared my giveaway, which I posted earlier this week on my channel, and thank you to Possum Patty for posting my video in your community post. And thank you to Carrie for doing a VR in the midst of a Happy Mail. I loved that. And to so many of my junk journaling friends who are eagerly supporting me to continue to grow my channel just through their care and love and comments. And to all of you who come and watch and you don't comment, thank you so much. It still means a lot that you're taking the time out of your day to see what I'm doing. If you're interested in what all these colors are on my desk for, hang out for just a second and we'll get started. If you lived in the 80s, you might have been subjected to the Color Me Beautiful color analysis system.
Put some color in your life, you'll be amazed what it can do. Put your best foot forward in the right color shoe. Revitalize your wardrobe to bring out your best. Your season's color palette is the key to success.
We had to do it in junior high in our home ec class, and I was one of those confusing people who was partly in a couple different seasons. I didn't fit perfectly into the one box, and so it was a little bit frustrating for me. But the thing that I really enjoyed the most of doing that whole color analysis thing was that we got to look at our eyes with a little concave mirror that was about 2 inches around. You held it up to your eye and you were to pick out all the colors in your eye. And I have a lot of colors in my eye. My eyes are blue, but I have golds and yellows and some kind of turquoise colors. So anyway, it was really fascinating to look up close at my eye that way. So while I wasn't terribly impressed or thought it was very helpful to do the Color Me Beautiful, sorry, nothing against it. I know it worked for some people. My sister-in-law took me when I was visiting Southern California to get my colors done by the Color One system. And this was my representative who did my draping. They have all these different sheets of fabric they put on your shoulders, and they analyze the color of your skin and your hair, your eyes, and then they give you a full palette of colors that are supposed to look good on you. And sorry, this is a little grungy. Don't look too close. It got carried in my purse probably well into the early 2000s. And then I kind of had an idea by then of what works. And I tend to just wear a lot of pinks and black and some blues, some turquoises. But look, these are my eye colors. And that's what I was talking about. Looking into that mirror and you're like, oh my gosh, that's all in there? Okay, and then these are my complementary colors. And then on the back, my skin colors, the main, I don't know. What do you think? Does it look like my skin? I don't know that the camera in this lighting is doing it much justice, but definitely if I wear these color pinks, oh, in fact, look at this. Look what color I'm wearing today. It's a skirt. And yeah, if I wear these colors, I get compliments. So it really does make a difference. And then here were my hair colors, which now would need to be redone. I think some of these colors are still in there. We need to add more of the gray colors into my hair color now, I think. But this system was really fun, and it actually did help me to go and know what colors to purchase things in. And I do get compliments when I stay along this line. These were my neutrals, a very dark navy, a black, kind of almost slightly ivory white, not white, and then this dark maroon. Anyway, it just reliving the 80s. So what I thought I would do today, I pulled a couple fashion prints from a 1980s magazine, and oh my goodness, I totally had this outfit. Only my tie here was more of a bow tie. And I remember sitting at our neighbor's table for dinner, and I had the bow tie on. My friend's dad said, "Wow, I'm really impressed that you know how to tie a bow tie and that you tie a bow tie every time you wear that outfit." And I grabbed the bow tie. It was under a folded down collar. And I grabbed the bow tie and pulled it, and it was on elastic. So you just put it over your head and it snapped on, and you didn't have to tie it at all. He just laughed and laughed at me because it was just an instant reaction to snap it and be, yeah, I'm so impressive. I tie this every day. Nope. But this outfit entirely, the suspenders, the high-waisted, maybe not the pocket watch. I didn't own a pocket watch, but the high-waisted striped pants. My husband said the first time he ever laid eyes on me, he noticed that I was very tall and that I had cool striped pants on. Oh, so one of his fun memories. But yes, the dress shirts were definitely in. We were at a small private Christian school when I was in high school, and our 80s style was very much preppy because we just were not allowed to wear the ripped, wholly off the shoulder Madonna look or fishnet or any of that. And so we were pretty much a bunch of preppies because we had to follow dress code. And then this is a look that I would say late 80s, like early college. For me, this was the thing. You would buy a plain dress, and t-shirt dresses were really in then. And then you would go to San Francisco to Chinatown, and there were lace companies that sold these lace collars, and you would just add it over the dress. And that's what this article was actually about. And so I cut out this pretty up a dress pronto little piece that was somewhere over here showing the plain dress without the collar. But I totally remember doing that. And I really wore a lot of pinks and reds in the 80s. So these two ladies need to get cut out and put on the page somehow. But I didn't want to disassemble this and try and fit it into my book. And it's really too fat to just add it as it is in a pocket or something. Then I remembered I had these color selector from Benjamin Moore Paints that I got at a estate sale. And I thought, what if I start pulling out, which I did ahead of time because I didn't want to just fumble with these paint chips for hours while you watched. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I did was I pulled pages that had similar colors. And the weird thing to me is that these are just a variation of the shade. And so you would think, okay, I pull this card and then these are all just going to be variations of the shade. Well, not exactly. So I had to go to a couple cards to find the exact matches. I think it's that one there. Anyway, I'm going to sit down here and I'm going to cut apart and basically make some of these, not all of them, and glue them on my page. And I will fast forward that part so that you're not tortured watching me cut little squares. And I can move these aside in case I need some more colors. And then I just pulled a really neutral background. This is kind of a gray hash marks on white paper, and I just thought I would cover up my recipes to give myself a place to start. And I'm trying to decide, I might actually want to make this into a pocket and leave it open on the side, just because I always need space for journaling. Unless I may end up using some of the extras of these to make a journaling card. So we'll see. Thanks for joining me and for hanging out while I make this page. I'll chat with you a little bit more once I get these colors all cut apart. Okay, sorry, that was kind of awkward. I should have put this down and then glued the pocket over, but I didn't realize where I was going to cut it and if the words were going to show. And so I have a little bit more of this. I think I'm going to glue this on here to make a journaling card and cut it down to fit in this pocket. Set that aside for a minute. Now let's decide what we want to do with all of our colors. And I did the best I could. There's definitely some colors I couldn't find that matched very well. Like the navy blue, I didn't really see a navy. I mean, maybe that one. It's almost like a gray navy. See, just not as dark and not as blue. It's more gray. Anyway, I got a good selection. I think it gets the point across. I don't think there's any navies on this one. Maybe. Wait, what about this one? I can never find where it is once I... Oh, that's more the blue, true blue. Yeah, it's just really dark navy. I mean, just like her pants, really, but maybe almost that one. Let's see, is there one darker? No. Okay, we'll go with this one. It's close enough. All right. So what I was thinking is, I think I'm going to cut her shorter maybe put her on the journaling card, and then fussy cut her. And let's find some of the colors she's wearing, like the pink and the navy, and oh, I guess I didn't get the bright red. Let's see. Where's my reds? So tell me, did you ever do some kind of fashion exploration like this? I would say that my high school years, my friends were very into clothes shopping, and we went a lot of times to the city, to the outlets, where you truly got outlet prices. I mean, we would buy Jessica McClintock dresses for $5 at the Gunny Sack outlet in San Francisco. It was where you always went for your banquet dresses. We didn't have dances. You could literally spend about $50 and come home with a huge wardrobe. And so I was determined to wear the things I bought. Now, we live in a tiny house. I have kind of a capsule wardrobe that's pretty small. Very different from those high school days. Okay, I want to keep those together because they kind of match what she's wearing. Let's get the rest of these just on the page, and not necessarily rainbowy, but let's see. Let's divide up the colors by color family. I found a lot of these that matched my colors on the palette. That's kind of a purple. There were 2 different shades of purple in there. There's a lot of these, and they look pretty similar. It's probably the color I wear the least is orange or peach. These are the colors I probably wear the most, actually. I'm kind of sad I couldn't find more greens and blues in the same matching, but that's kind of fun. I don't know which one's closer. This one's probably closer. So let's see, where can I put you? Maybe out here on the edge. Living on the edge, red. I hardly ever wear red anymore. Isn't that funny? How our styles change over the year. So tell me, did you do anything in your high school years to kind of define your style or help you to dress more trendy or figure out what looks good on you? And tell me what kind of style you liked in high school, because it doesn't matter if you were an 80s high school person or a 40s high school person or a 60s high school person. I think it would just be fun to hear like what you loved to wear in your high school years. Not on our campus, but on the public school campuses, smoking was allowed in high school. And I don't know if you noticed, but this ad was a cigarette ad. There's always a ton of cigarette ads in 80s magazines, which is so funny because we just don't see them as much anymore, or if at all. I'm helping her cut the habit here. And don't you just love her big hair? I had big hair in junior high, thanks to my mom, who thought perms were the solution to all her troubles, even though she didn't really help me with my hair. Kind of some perm trauma. Then I grew my hair out long and straight in the mid 80s. And then in college, I went back to the spiral perm. Nice ringlet curls, not this big poofy thing on the top of my head like my mom had me doing. And then I tried to grow all the perm out in time for our wedding when I was in med school. I ended up having to cut my hair really short to get all the dead perm stuff off. I had kind of short hair for my wedding, which I was kind of sad about, but married nonetheless. I think I like that. What do you think? I think I'm going to include my consultant's card because the symbol's here, so I'm going to remember the name when I'm looking in here. Okay, let's just tuck her under there. Maybe I'm going to put it up here because all that peach can get covered up. I'll glue this down and then we'll work on our journaling card. So I was talking about the outlets in San Francisco. We used to go to, like I said, the Gunny Sack Factory outlet, all the Jessica McClintock dresses, and we wore pretty fancy dresses to church back then. We really liked getting dresses because we could wear them to school, we could wear them to banquets, and we could wear them to church. We also loved the Fritzy's You Babe outlet. It was a big warehouse. My sister's 10 years older, and she was a new mommy when I was in high school, and she would go with us often, be our driver. She would really help me out a lot and give me odd jobs, and so I could earn money to go shopping for clothes. And I also worked for some cousins of ours who had a consignment shop. And my sister brought her baby one time. The baby was making a high-pitched kind of like, noises because the warehouse would echo. We were just giggling away, and I'm sure the people in the store were going crazy. The other outlet we used to like to go to was the Esprit outlet. Big name brands, very small prices. And we would plan out our route and be there when stores opened. Maybe I'll go ahead and put this here. Kind of fits. I feel like her face is getting creased. Let me just cut a piece to fit in there to hold her head up. Better. Her little face won't be wrinkled. This is the Extra Strength Craft Bond. This magazine paper is so thin that I don't like to use the art glitter glue on it in the summer like this because it's so warm in my studio that it dries so fast that it leaves lines where you glue it. But this is also being a little finicky, doesn't quite want to secure down. So I'm just going to keep adding more until she stays. All right, sorry that my lamp is causing a glare. Let's pick her up so you can see a little better. Oh, I think that came out so cute. Let's make our journaling card. Okay, my other cutter is out in the living room because I was working on a project on the couch, as I tend to do in the evenings. So I'll just use this. Oh, I need to go ahead and keep it here a second. I'm going to just glue it to this because it's a little bit, it's just like a leaf page from just inside a cover. I'm just going to glue this on to give it a little more heft so that it slides in and out of the pocket without folding. It's not cardstock, so it won't add a lot of bulk, but it will make it just a little bit sturdier because it's a much heavier weight paper than this neutral one that I'm using. I think I'm going to use a little art glitter glue just on the corners so it doesn't peel up. This corner is just not quite matching up, so I'm just going to trim that just a smidge. And then I think it's hanging over. I must have gone just a smidge crooked, which not the end of the world. It's a junk journal. And then I'll just run this down. Very nice. Still got just a smidge hanging over here too. Working in smidges today. Okay, that back on my scrap pile. Okay, I have her little pretty up address pronto thing. And then let's see how much of her we can get on, because we can do all our writing on the back. So I'm going to fussy cut her a little bit more closely. Okay, I don't think she's going to get to keep her legs, so I'm not going to bother fussy cutting around them. And what I wouldn't give for having those collars still, because you know I'd use them in junk journals now. Okay, I want you relatively straight, young lady. I think I'm going to cut out this holiday handbook thing because it kind of goes with the clock that she's leaning on. And then anything that's hanging over the edge, I will trim off. Look, there's a bow tie on the back. Yeah, tuxedo shirts were kind of a big deal in the 80s. I wore those from 6th grade all the way through junior high and a little bit into high school. I think it changed a bit at high school. I would say this would have been like an 8th grade 1983 outfit. Of course, the Jessica McClintock dresses came with the big frilly lace collars already on them. That place stayed in business through my girls going to prom, and we bought at least my older daughter's prom dress there. Okay, we'll trim you up, and I will do my journaling. Love it. All right, I'm going to do my journaling, and then I'll give you a flyover of the page. But thank you so much for coming along today. I really appreciate you sharing in the comments your fashion favorites in high school, because I love to hear your stories. I hope telling my stories encourages you to tell yours, because your story matters, and I love to hear it. So thank you for those of you who comment and share. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.